So here we are back again and starting with our practice sessions. In today's sessions, we are going to complete a leftover thing that we started in our past session. Now just check are we audible or not, and do we going live properly or not. Let's just check it up once again. Yeah. Starting with our practice sessions. Yeah, it's audible fine. Let's move forward. And yeah, here we go again. So we are supposed to create what was the problem statement? It was a editor, right? Autosave editor, right? Mm, let's have a auto phase editor here. So problem statement was a small document editor with the autosave functionality. Okay. So here I think so we have been created something. You can see hello. Okay, promises defined. So it's not implemented fully. We have to implement it properly. So there are missing piece case. So when I type something, so it should have a data, right? So let's see how we're going to have a data here. So what is happening here? Attach event, input event is here. Whenever I type something, it will be call the attach event. The input event will be call up, and data will be working, right? So let's see here console.log state.context. Do we getting here? Yeah, we are getting the data, right? The one of the issue is when I call this, it should have a facing a race condition, and we are not supposed to deal with a race condition, right? So how we are going to do this? So first of all, the main thing is we have to avoid the race condition. Then we will move forward with the debouncing. Okay. So how we are supposed to do this? Let's comment this and then comment out this also. We have a APP, right? This is the input, right? And what we are going to do? Okay, let's see how we have managed the race condition in this. Here we have been solved the problem statement of race condition, right? So handle input. Okay, we're working with the race ID here. Mm, Try state searching. Await. Inner or something got wrong. How we're dealing here? Filter response. State dot each item. Input handle input async. This was not all the thing. This where we are handling the inputs async in our last session answers. Okay, so let's see how does we are trying here. Mm, First of all, word wrap, so we can see the data access easily. So what is about state dot query e dot target dot value, and we're checking if this empty, so it will be returned. Okay, if not empty, then id plus plus. We are maintaining a request id, right? Okay. Mm, okay, we have a new viewer, Harsh Chauhan. Hi, Harsh. What's up? Yeah, good going. We are practicing a system design question in which we have a problem statement. You can see we have a problem statement of we are creating a autosaver editor which has a problem statement in that we will be dealing with debouncing. Okay, so we are just watching what we can do here. So this is a little different thing. Let's close this for now. So first of all, we have to see how we are going to handle this async one. Mm-mm. The apple has been written, right? And I got a response here. Mm, Let's first deal with the what we call race condition. Okay. Mm. T-bounds attach event, right? This is the where we are dealing with. Let's have a handle function first of all. Function handle. input. Okay, we are handling the input here, and what I supposed to do is here. You can see we are not this. Inside this, we are having a e, and what we are trying to do. Let's just minimize this. Mm, we will be doing all the things inside handle input. So let me take all the data here, this thing, and let me paste here. So this is the data that we are dealing with here for now. And let's have here, it's made it simple, handle input. Okay. Mm, let's see how it's working. Let's remove this. So here we have handle input. When the input is showing, so it's first updated the state, right? So we are maintaining a state, you can say. Here the state is open will be true first of all. When the state is true, we are, if it is or closed, then it should return. Okay, and state uh, it should not state here. It should actually, okay, no issue. It's leave here only for now. When the state has been open, which means state dot context equals to e dot target dot value. So whenever I try to write something, so it's saving into the state dot context directly. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Instead of doing this, what one think so, rather than 1 2 3, I don't know. Let's be like it is a query only. So we are saving this value. Mm, what I'm supposed to do is, mm, we are handling race condition or first. Okay, in a problem question only we can see. Do we have to maintain the race condition also here? Yeah, we have to maintain the race condition also. Closures, okay. First we have to deal with closures. Uh, Debouncing, closures, set timeout, and clear timeout. We are having an event loop, async API, and race condition. Okay, let's move one by one first of all. Let's see how we are going to deal with this. Uh, we have a editor, right? When I type something, so it's saving in the state.context. Got it? When I save, when I see this, I need to um, prepare a closure for next step. So we have prepared a closure here, which is this thing. Debounce and delay functions we are having. So when I call this function, okay, okay, let's think a little bit what we are doing actually. Mm, what we are thinking about, this is a closure, right? Function set timeout async, but it don't get a value actually properly. Mm, Instead of response, let's just console.log response here for now. Okay, so we are doing the console.log response. What I need to do, uh, I'm just calling the response, passing the value function API here and delay here. Await function. Okay, we are calling this function API here, and inside that we are putting the state.context. Okay. Mm, okay. Let's give a try actually. APPL. Mm, it's having something changes? No, I don't think so. We are calling Apple. So first it goes here. We have to activate this also, right? So let's call this function APPLE. Uh, you see, this is a issue that it's called for Apple, app, and Apple again, and 5 times as per the file alphabet. But that's the issue that we have to solve. Mm, let's understand this. How we're going to deal with this. How we are going to deal with this. Let's think about it. Mm, debounce. We have a closure also. When I doing set timeout, async let response equals to await function. In that functions we are passing the state of context. The issue is it's having a all single alphabet, right? Uh, what we can do is after certain period of time, it should add the context, right? So what I'm thinking, we can do little bit delay. Yeah. Okay, we have some new viewer, Thingster. Hi, Thingster. Welcome to our live session, practice session. So, do you have any final year project ideas related to AI? Mm, currently, we didn't think about any idea for now. We are just practicing a system design question. For AI, you can go with RAG applications. You can build any of a thing related to RAG and a graph. So those are the trending things in the industry as well as in the projects. So you can figure it out. What have to you can go with the RAG. Yeah, RAG big ideas projects are industries are using the RAG applications thing. So you can figure it out. And where suppose you're supposed to do, you can do anywhere. Those are the core concept. Mm, 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 mm. Let's focus back to a question. Debounce. My notes. Mm, mm, mm. Let's think how we are going to prevent this. Okay. What was I trying to do is after certain time we will be doing this thing. Let's have a set timeout here. Set timeout, and after certain time like of 500 milliseconds we are going to first we will be let ans equals to v dot target dot value, and after that we are going to upload state context equals to ans. Okay, that's the thing we are trying to do. Let's have a app apple. No, you can see that the same issue is 7 1 2 3 4 5. Nope, after 5 seconds it's doing. uh, this is the issue that we are facing now. mm, this is happening because we are doing this thing, right? mm, how you are going to deal with the race condition here? Let's think. This is actually a race condition. When we are trying to add all the things, it's have a multiple thing, but it should only call the apple one, not APPLAPP, this thing. Mm, open e dot target dot values, getting the value, and mm, After 5 seconds, it's updating. This is an issue. What the issue, but how do we figure this out actually? That is the main question. So when the active state is active, we are also getting the data, and that data needs to be uh, pushed further, right? Let's be little comfortable first and then start to fix it. Okay, we have some suggestions also from the mm, yeah, this is the suggestions we got. Let's look into it, and we will be having a clue for this. So yesterday in past session, we asked AI to give a hint to find this out. Mm, Let's have a look into this thing. What data we are having here. Okay. You're close. The main issue is you're mixing the text editor state, daemon state, and API state. Let's correct the directions without solving it. Okay. Your current state has an unnecessary field. Okay. Does is open history or context and affect the autosave? Should happen for this problem. Start only with only the state represent that document and save status. Mm, so which is document? I think so. Context is good and save status. Mm-mm-mm. Debounce location. Your understanding is correct, but the one important correction: don't create a new debounce function on every input. Mm, what we are doing here? Uh, okay. Um, Hi, Singh Hoto. What is system design in JS? We are practicing system design in JS, which means we are trying to perform and writing the code in such a way that our code can be scalable in terms of any terms. If we want to increase, add a functionality or send to any other developer, so he can also write in his code with actual implementations. It has a different types of pattern and concepts, like what are the race conditions that we can face in our program, what is a debouncing, how we can create a program in such a way that in future also any of the feature we need, we can scale easily without disrupting any other functions. So these are the concepts. It has a lot of more thing. System designs helps to make scalable applications and improve our coding structure. So yeah, those are the things that we try to do and try to become learn how the senior software engineers thinks about this. So those are the things that we are learning and practicing in our sessions. Debounce location. Your understanding is correct, and but your one important correction is don't debounce in every input. Currently, what we are doing, yeah, we are doing the debounce every using, right? Are we using web workers? Currently, we are not using any web workers. We are just practicing the basic vanilla JavaScript and HTML and creating small components. And in that, we are learning what are the different terms in system design, what are the concepts, and how we can learn those and practice those. Mm, yeah, it's actually whenever it try to calls, it's calling again and again. Mm, instead of if we not call here, where we should call? Mm-mm-mm. Because here we can see again and again it's okay, race conditions. The For example, see. suppose whenever so for understanding the race condition, you can understand whenever we try to suppose here user enters anything. So the problem is you have to call whenever user types anything, you have to call the API. So here we have created a fake API, suppose. So when we type this thing ABC, so it's started to calling multiple times. So there is a multiple API, but not every API call request will be get the all those data that actually we want, because at the first time it when I type A, so a request has been sended and all the result will be captured for A only. So it has a lot of data because many of the data will be consuming A, but actual output should be for ABC, not for A, because user writed the ABC, not just A. So there is a race conditions that it should be it should wait for certain times because and it should have a correct response, not for this response. That there is a two different concept. That for waiting concept is a debouncing, and it is a proper response getting for which request. So that there is a multiple request and a multiple response, so which response is belongs to which request. This is the race condition there. So make it async. Yeah, we are making it async only, but while we making a async condition, we have to check which response has a which sorry, which request has a which response, because there will be a multiple request and multiple response. So to manage that also, we are understanding that race condition. um, for now what we are thinking is, because here you can see whenever the handle input calls, it's every time it calling the debounce. So it's calling 3 times. It should not like this. It should call only 1 time after the handling the input. So what is the next thing? Yeah, we can see 3 independent timers. Create debounce once. Input call it. Save timer gets reset. That's the ID key idea currently missing. Okay. Mm, okay. But also the debounce has to be async, and also when call handle input, okay, you have to wait. mm, Wait, yeah, we're managing here. You can see you are not waiting when you call debouncing. Okay, okay, you means here, right? This is a async request, so it is responding the promise which should wait, right? Yeah, I got it. But currently the issue is whenever we are typing something, so it's calling again and again. So we don't want to call again and again. Uh, 54. This one, right? Okay, I got it. What you want to say, but we are little bit doing different thing actually. Mm, we are not doing this thing actually. Is not a functions in HTML. I know 78. 78 is this thing, right? Uh, so we have to make this also async. No, we have to wait for this. Await here. Let ans equals to await, and now we have to call console.log ans, and for that also this is a API, right? Apple, see, here is the promise, and here we have to wait again. Apple, you got the answer. But this was not the thing that we want to do. The thing is, currently it's calling multiple time. It should call only 1 time, and we are going to solve that one first of all, not this thing. Mm, Handle input will should not call any devons here for now. We have to call the devons outside this, I think so. But where we can call this data? Let's understand where we can call debounds and why. The question is that when I do any changes here, it has a handle input and handle. Mm, okay, calm down, Singhato. So what we are doing? Let me explain you. We are creating a learning auto system, right? System designed for learning, and we are creating a small document editor with the auto save. So this is our question. So when we do this, user types h, so there will be a API call. If it types he, then we'll again a API call like this hello. When the user types hello, there will be a multiple type of a multiple API call will be happening. So we have to prevent this. So instead a document should be saved 0.5 second after the user stop make changes. So when user completed making changes after 0.5 second, which means 500 ms. So after then we should have to call only one time. So it will be save automatically, like in the VS code when we changes anything here, you can say auto save button, it automatically save. So like that, similarly we have to create this thing. So we are try to doing that, and in that we have debouncing concept, closures concept, set timeout, clear timeout, event loop, async API, race conditions, and cleanup. These are the multiple things that we have to practice in this question. Okay, I think now you got it. And where we are stuck here, we have a note editor here, and when I type something, so it's captured also. So you can see handle input supposed to handle all the changes input in doing we are doing in this editor. Okay, so when we make any changes, it's stored in the state context. This is a state context. We are maintaining a state, you can see, as a temporary state there the data will be storing up. So when this data is storing, we have to send this data to a fake API that we have been created. So we are not creating a server or anything. For now, we have just created a promises. In that promises, we will be get the data after certain delay. Okay. So that's the thing we have been done. And now we are supposed to fix how we are going to call the API at once only, not every time when users just type. So this is the whole situation. I think you understood. Mm, so let's see how we are going to fix this. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, you can see this. This is a fake API that we have been created. This is a delay for certain second, and when the promise is returning, it's resolved after a certain max dot random second, and it will be send the resolved data that we get it. The data is actually that what we are typing only. Mm. FNC is the same function. This is a fake API. Instead of that, we are calling just FNC is the just we are naming, changes the name, nothing more. This is the fake API only. We are try to call first. We are try to call this debounce, and debounce has a two parameter. One is for the function, and one is for the delay data. That function we got from here. Okay, I think you understood. So the problem was when we tried to call this debounce inside the handle input. So issue was whenever we making any of the changes, so it's calling multiple time a debounce. So this is not a perfect place to call the debounce function here. So we are try to find out where we can call the debounce and why. The reason is most important, why. So reason of why is we need the data to send to the server, right? So this is our server. Fake API is a server. So we are sending a request. So the issue is from how we can send the request, because here we can't send the request, because whenever do type any changes, it's calling again and again. You have seen, right? Let's me send you this. Okay. So whenever I try Apple, so you see multiple time of a request has been gone. So this is the issue. We don't want the multiple request. We want single request and it should be APLE. So that is the thing that we have to figure it out. Hmm. 77 uncommon. Okay. Mm. So how to try to increase time to 2 seconds? It will just delay. It will nothing to if you increase some time or something, it will be calling again and again function. Because see 1 2 3 4, we have four words, right? You can see the four time has been called. You can see there is a four time undefined, and after that we got 1 2 and this two time. So this request has been gone to four time. um, so let's see how we are going to figure this out. mm, 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 mm. Okay, instead of wasting of time, let's take a hint from AI only. um, let's have GPD. Okay. mm, we are having here, try it first. Okay, we can't use here from here. mm, okay, you want to see? Okay, let's me try this. So here we are passing a delay, right? So you can see just we are increasing. So we are just increasing the second, right? So we have just increasing it at 2000 second, which means 2 second. Okay. When I do changes, you can see there is a file request has been done. You can see after there is a file request. This is not just a one request. This is a file request that we are doing. You can see there is a file data. So that is the issue. You can see whenever we remove, it's again the file request 3 4 5. This is the issue that I want to point out. Okay. We need to understand. For now, let's take a hint. Okay. Act you as a senior software engineer helping intern, junior intern, junior intern to uh, junior intern, under junior software engineer helping junior intern to understand the problem and solving by own only. You just guide us with a hint. For now, we are practicing system design problems. Okay, so let's have a for log messages we are getting from here, line number 60 in the debounce. Yep, you're thinking in the move in the right direction. Since you are practicing system design, I won't give you the finished implementation yet. I will act as a, okay. Let's have a hint from this. First, identify the core problem. Your editor has a two different timeless, user timeline and network timeline. Okay, understood. User types A, B, C. User stops. Mm-hmm. This is the first timeline. Okay, and network timeline is save A, save AB, save ABC. Responses, three different responses. The dangerous part is the network response don't necessarily return in the same order that requests were created. Yep, we understood that. User types A B C. Request save response response response. Okay, when save ABC finishes first, but save A finishes last. Yeah. Your server editor could accidentally end up showing A, even though the current response is ABC. Yeah, we face the same thing. That's the key system design problem I would want to solve. Hint one: your debounce implementation. Mhm. Look carefully at this. Ask yourself, what does debounce actually return? Currently, it's not returning. It's returning just a async function actually. Yeah, this is returning a async function. And then what does await ANS actually wait for? Okay, put a console.log before and after set timeout. Okay, before and after set timeout. You should discover something important. ANS set timeout function returns immediately. Await ANS finishes 2000 ms later. Fake API. So your current await isn't waiting for the save. Don't fix it yet. First understand why. Okay. Hint 2. What should debounce means? You said wait for 0.5 second and then proceed. Good. But there is an important distinction. User types A, wait for 0.5 second. A, B, cancel previous wait. Wait, user, okay, cancel previous wait. User stop, save. So ask yourself, what mechanism can I use to cancel the previous set timeout? You already know the answer from JavaScript. Okay, clear timeout. Okay, think const timer and clear. Don't implement anything else, just get this part working. And 3, don't use state.context inside the delayed callback blindly. Imagine state hello world, callback returns. Okay, what the value does the callback see? Hello world. Maybe that's what you want for debounce. Yeah. But later, when we deal with the concurrent saves, you will need to think differently. Use a mental model here. Okay. Be value being saved equals to context. Okay. This is a particularly save operations its own snapshot. Hint: your history probably shouldn't be a string currently having. If the user types 5 different version, how would I represent all 5 version? Okay, it should be a array. Don't jump into straight implementations. First decide what does history represent. Hint 5, the most important questions. How do you identify a save? Suppose hello world hello. So give a monotonical increasing identifier. Imagine response arrives 3, 2, 1. Your code should be able to say I already have a newer save uh, newer save than this response, so the response is stale. That's the basic idea behind the request. Okay, sequencing. mm, Construction component destruction. If the save field is happening, then we must show the latest changes. ABC. Last changes is successful AB, and current saved unsaved is ABC. Okay, we got the your next exercise. Before changing any code, you would like to redesign just the state. Don't implement debounce yet. Try answering. Okay. Let's figure first state and then move forward. What is the current in the editor? What was the successful saved? What save version is currently the newest? What the timer is waiting to trigger a save? Is the component destroyed? What do we need for redo undo? Mm, and, and the answer this scenario manually. User types A, B, A, C, 5000. Okay, it's a little bit complicated. What should be the final editor last successful save state? Mm, what is the currently in the editor? So currently is ABC, right? Hmm. What was successfully saved? Successfully saved was AB. Okay. And what's the save version is currently the newest. Okay, you got it. Yeah, that's great to hear that you understood the question problem statement. And yeah, we are also understood, but we are trying to figure it out how we are going to do this. Let's just see how we can do. You can also share your suggestions if you understood. We'll love to see that. Mm, what timer is waiting to trigger? First, let's go to the back, and here the question is first fix the debouncing thing. Look at carefully. Debounce fake if I actually return. Debounce fake API. What is returning? You can say the debounce is returning a async function. And we have to fix this thing. After set timeout. Before and after set timeout, right? Let's have a console. Before set time out. Okay. And we are having here after set timeout. So here we are able to see the define 1 2 3 4 5. You can see the 5 timers win, and after that we have got the apple. We let a timer equals to set timeout. Okay. Mm, okay, I've got it. You mean to clear? Yeah, we are going to do that also. Let timer equals to set timeout. For now, let's be the 5 second only. 5 millisecond. Then 0.5 millisecond. And after that, we have a clear timeout also, right? And we will be return timer. Okay. Um, just a second. When we have this console.log, you can see Apple. This is from 85. 85 is console.log ANS. Mm, timer. Okay, we are not just sending a timer. How the clear timer works? How clear timeout works in JS? There is a clear timeout also one thing. Okay, it's a little bit slow. Window of clear timeout. We have a clear timeout. Set timeout, clear timeout. We have to deal with ID. Okay. Mm, clear timeout. set timeout, this is thing, and we have to clear timeout with the ID. Okay, let's go here. Mm. And when should it clear timeout? We have to, why you call await on 85. 85, because it's returning a promise. When you got a promise, because you can see when you return something, when you return this thing, okay, we try to return this thing. We have to store current timeout ID in state. Okay, can you elaborate what you are thinking and how you're going to, what you are planning to do, so we can proceed with that too, if you know about that thing, because currently you're just giving a single statement. But we have already solved 77, 82, 82. See, when you try to this thing, this is a, just to understand, this is a debounce. When we call debounce, we are passing two data, right? This two data is gone here. It will be having a response. And what we are doing is, we are not just calling the debounce here. We are calling this function, and this function is a closure. So inside a function, returning a function, inside that we are calling a function. So that's a closure thing that we are try to doing here. You can see. Okay. So uh, let's have here response. Okay. We create a response here, and response equals to, and let's remove, instead of doing this thing, returns timer as well as response. And let's see, APPLE. See, this is the thing that we, if we not await. Answer is a function. You're not understanding, my friend. You can see here what we are returning. We are returning a function. So when we return a function, it should be called, right? It can't be accessible. If we remove this thing, ANS, see, ANS function, it's returning a whole function. So we have to return, we have to call that function. If we're not going to call that, right? And when I call this, you can see now it is a promise, and promise should be async, right? It should be wait. So that is why we are putting await here. Now you can see after the certain time it will be calling the data. Okay, so what happened here, we'll just make the changes here. Okay, the response is this thing. uh, let's see what happened here. We didn't get the response. Why it is so? Maybe barely. Okay. Mm, mm. See. You just got confused actually. No issue. See, we are calling debounce, right? In the line number 83, we're calling debounce here. When I call this debounce, from this we are sending a two thing, right? First is fake API, and another thing is timing, so, right? When I call this is a debounce thing. It has a two parameter. It has a function received and also delay. But what we are doing is here, we are instead of just returning this function, we are created another function, async another function. This is a anonymous function we have created. Okay, and anonymous function, inside the anonymous function we are trying to use the set timeout, and here with the set timeout we are calling this function. This is the function that we have been passed from the debounce. Okay, the fake API. Fake API is here, and here we are going to call the fake API, and whatever the response we are getting, we are sending with the response here. And let's just check what happened actually. We are unable to get the response here. Why it is so? Let's see. First of all, remove all the unwanted. Uh, yeah, that's the closure thing. Okay. Mm, okay, so we are little bit gone far from our actual problem. We are tried to do the debounce thing, but we got into a closure. No issue. We just understood, clarify all the thing here. But let's see why it's not responding. Let's see. APPLE. APPLE. Here it is undefined. Why? Uh, let's not console dot thing. Okay, let's return something common. We are doing the return APPL. Okay, why it is undefined? We are having undefined. Line number 87. 87 we are calling is alright. It is undefined. Why? Do we getting 66? No, 66 also undefined. Mm, response has a wait. We are waiting for certain time, right? After that, it has a response to and not response here. Okay, so response to equals to response, and let's see response to value here. APPLE. Nope. But what happens if we do mm, if we do here console.log? Yeah. Uh, are we waiting for line number 61 for delay second? Mm, yeah, we are waiting for delay second. Mm-mm-mm. Response is not defined. Okay, we got this thing, but the issue is, okay, let's just clear all the thing. We have unwanted thing here. Uh, let's redesign the closure first of all. Well, it has a mess, too much mess. See, we have a function, right? And instead of a timer using here, let's not use a timer. So we have a function, right? And here we are trying to do state dot context. Okay, and let timer equals to, okay. Mm, so before that, let query. We have a query, and instead of direct, let's not direct. Instead of set this here and query here. So currently we just take out the set timer, okay, for our simplicity. And what we have got this here, it will be return. Okay, function has been called and it should be return timer. No, let's have the response only, and let's return this response. Okay, we just made it a simplicity for our understanding. After then we will be adding a timer on it. So yeah, we just made it simple. And when I return this thing, it has a divider sort. Okay, this is a fetch API. Fetch API. This is a different thing. Okay, it's not using, right? Let's remove this thing. It's not using. When we have a debounce here, we call the debounce passes the function as well as seconds delay. Okay, both has here. And now we have closure. In the closure, we have simplicity. Maintain the simplicity. Just query state dot context and passing this, and whatever we got, we just sending the response. So it is a function first of all, and we are calling this function here. Okay, apple, and we got the data. Okay, so now we got getting the data. So right, the issue is now we have to only reply 1 second, one reply, and how we are going to deal with this. Let's see how we are going to deal with this. uh, so before that, just a second. mm, yeah. The question is how we are going to do this. Apple multiple request. Mm-mm-mm. Remove the set. I'm not curious. When I suppose to user is typing some of the data here, uh, it system needs to wait certain time when handle import is happen. Okay, so there will be data will be updating. Mm, Suppose when I type something, okay, I typed apple. So apple type after few seconds. After few seconds, I will call something or insert the data. I will call a API. So I just call the debounce with API, okay, and in the debounce we will have this thing, let query. This whole things we are having here. After having the query, I have the data, right? A user type the data every time it's done, and I just call the fake API, okay, with some seconds. Call the API, it got the query here. When it has the query, it should call the response. Mm, mm, and let's update the history first of all. It should have this. Mm, let's remove the context null for here. We have a history as well as context. Mm, we're not getting the actual root point. Context is open false, history we are having this thing. When I try to call the input, it's working fine. When I got the data, it's state dot, we are selecting the state dot data. Mm, Context query. Okay, what I'm thinking about, let's go try. Let context query equals to this thing, and let's have a set timeout here for certain seconds, 5 seconds. When I do this, I will call state time state dot context equals to context query. Okay, let's not just call this thing any of the okay debonds. Okay, and what we will do is here just calling the debonds, um, and here we are answering this thing. Okay, console.log state dot context. Okay, it's not now do anything. Let's find out first of all APL Mm, state dot query line number 50. Line number 50 state dot query is yeah, okay. Nope, that's not the solution that we are thinking about. Mm, APPLE. Nope, that was a bad idea. Okay, we are unable to think actual details here. Mm, mm, mm. Unable to think critically. Let's just give a mindset to think about the D bounds first. So we can call D bounds D bounds function uh, properly properly configure it. Give a response in few sentences. Avoid vague explanation. Just few points, which helps us to go on right direction. Action. Okay. Uh, let's have a right direction. Let's focus on only on debounce now. Debounce should own the timer. Every input should call the same debounce function. When a new input happens, cancel the previous timer and start a new what is ms timer. Okay, the API should only run only when the user has stopped the typing. The API should only when the user has stopped the typing. Your current mistake is debounce is created on the every input. Instead of create, configure the debounce function once the call it for handle input. Think of a API you want. Uh, State.context. Your next task, think of API. The API is like this. Your next task simply make debounce functions, return a function that remember one timer and uses clear timeout before creating the next timer. Don't think about undo, redo state, okay, anything else. But this is the thing that we are thinking about, okay? Mm, okay, let's give a try. Mm, let's have a const save equals to debounce, and here we are having a fake API as well as a delay. This is thing we are not doing here anymore, and what we are doing is here save state dot context. Mm, so we are passing the data, okay. State dot context, okay. Simple task debounce delay, okay. Return a function that remembers one timer and uses clear timeout. Return a function that remembers one timer. Okay. Return a function. It is a function. Return a function that remember one timer and uses clear timeout before creating the next timer. Mm, mm, one timer. Okay. So let's have a let timer equals to set timeout. we have this thing, and let's response this thing. Okay, it's our, and here we have a delay, right? This is a function that we are going to call, and let's remove this and remove this thing. Okay, so we are trying to make this simple. This is a timer. What you say? Return a function. We are returning a function that remembers one timer and uses clear timeout. Uh, Function. It has a timer. It's a return timer. Okay, which is having, and how we are going to configure it. When I call this save, right? Debounce, and it is return a function, right? And when I call this, we got a variable data here, query. We have a query here, and we will pass this query here only. Okay, let's just check is it working fine or not. Till here, console.log query. Here, uh, we see the save parameter, save argument data. Okay, okay, let's 55 is async await. Here we have to do async. Okay, let's have apple is not, save is not a function. Save it not a function. Why it is not a function? It's returning, right? Mm, why save is not a function here? When I return this function, right? Apple in promise, save is not a function. Cost in a promise. HTML line number 74, 74. Mm, see what we are doing. Handle input. Okay. In the handle input, we are supposed to see this thing and save context. We are calling the save, right? This is a save. Save, and what we are doing, fake API plus 500. Okay, let's have 500 here. And we are trying to just pass this thing, save context. This is a query that we are getting from here. So why it's not working? mm, Unwanted thing. This is also unwanted for now. Apple. Okay, we got the, okay, due to the async keyword it was facing an issue. Now we can see the apple, we are getting the this data here, and we got the data here. And what I supposed to do is part timer as well as a response. uh, could we get a response? No, I don't think so, because it is inside this. Let's create a response here and have a response here, and just see apple. You can see this thing. Uh, I need to return this timer, and mm, console.log, let's say this. When we have apple, I got undefined. Okay. mm, okay, so when I call this thing, so we have to also clear timeout, right? But how we are supposed to clear timeout? mm, okay, we have created a conclusion here. Let's have a understanding here. Okay, okay. uh so far we have conclude conclude this thing, this stuff. Guide us, guide us with small hint. No, avoid vague explanation. Okay. Let's have an understanding with them because we are unable to. Okay, you are too close. You are close. Two main issues. Think about where is the timer store. Right now, let timer is created inside a safe call, so the next input cannot access the previous timer. Okay. Hint: declare let timer inside the debounce, but outside return function. Okay, got a hint. So let's work with this hint. We have a timer here. Okay, and let's use the timer here. And now what we are doing is, right now the let timer is created inside the safe, right? Okay, done. So the next input cannot access the previous timer. Yeah, understood. Hint: declare the let timer inside the debounce. Okay, done. Outside return function. The return function we have created outside, right? Done. And what we are trying to do is, mm, what should save return? Set timeout doesn't return the API response. Set timeout doesn't return the API response. Yeah, your response variable will be still undefined. Yes, it is undefined when you return the timer and response. Yeah, the response is still undefined. Think about the structure. Function, shared all the calls. Yeah, query. Cancel the previous timer, create a new timer, and call async after the delay. Okay, so we have to think in this term. This is a hint that we got from the AI. Shared by all the calls. Okay, cancel the previous timer. So we have to cancel the previous timer, right? And for canceling the how to clear, we use this thing. So what we will do first, cancel the previous timer, clear timeout, right? And here we have a timer we have used. Okay, okay, got it. uh, we have canceled the previous timer. So first mode is cancel the previous timer, create a new timer. This is, I think so, it is a new timer that we have created. Got it. Call the function query, function and query after delay. After delay it's calling, right? Okay. Key test: A is timer 1, cancel timer 1, timer 2, and save only AB. Don't solve the return value yet. First make sure only the final input trigger. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, we don't solve the thing here, but I think so it's solved. Let's have a console before and console, yeah. Console.log timer with uh, before and after, yeah. Before and after. Let's see how it's responding after. So we have a apple. Before timer it was undefined, and here we see, okay, first event is undefined, yeah. After it is 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, it's working fine, I think so. 5, 5, and 6 undefined. And now we have to figure it out why it is undefined. Okay, so let's see how we are going to fix this. Response is undefined because it's unable to create this, right? Let's take out the response also outside, and let's see how we are going to get this thing. We have an apple. uh, we have to wait certain time, and after waiting only we will be, because as per it's going to the synchronous way, and it is a asynchronous code, right? Hmm. Hmm. What if we return from here only? Not here. Just like wait and then return. Mm, let's hide this thing. Let's have apple. It's undefined still. Hmm. How are we supposed to maintain this? Mm-mm-mm-mm. I know we fix the clear timeout, right? Okay. Let's go with AI from step by step because we are unable to think like this for now. Okay. Okay. We figure this out. Guide next. Guide us about next. And how we should think in think in this situation. We just got lost in our mind in such question. So these are the actual interview style level questions where we got actually lost our mind. We are not able to thinking what is the next step. Currently, I am facing that too. So good debounce is now conceptually solved. Don't touch it further yet. Okay. The next problem is what happens after the debound fires. Think in order. Separate current from saved. Save context. What user currently see and what server successfully saved last. Why? Because current save is hello world and saved is hello. It is completely valid while saving is happening. Okay. Now think two saves. Your API has a random delay. Save ABC finishes at 1005, which is 1.5 second, and ABCD finish is 800 millisecond. So the newer request finishes first, older request finishes later. Ask yourself, how can each request prove which version of the document is represent? Right? Each save a number. Okay. Next goal is don't implement, undo, redo. Okay, no, not implementing that. Okay, we figured this out. Let's figure this out. This thing. State.context and save content. Okay. So we are have two things. What is saved content also? Saved content. Context or content? Context. Okay. Let's have this thing. Mm-hmm. So how we are going to fix this out? Let's see. Mm, but the issue is here, line number 39. 39, what is the 39 issue? Okay, got it. So whenever we see invalid shorthand property initializer, we can get an idea it can be come from invalid objects. You can see this is an invalid object. Yeah, solve. When I apple, the problem is here again why it is undefined. Mm, instead of that, if we declare here let response, so it should wait, right? APPLE. Nope, it's again undefined. Mm, 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 mm. But what we do, we have been async here and await this thing here. Now I think so. We should get apple. Nope. What about here? Apple? Nope. Nope. That is a bad conditions that we are trying. So no issue. It's a hit and try. We are learning only. What is the second thing? Ask yourself state context. What happens after debounce fire? What user currently see and what server successfully saved last. Current hello world. Um, Before that, I want to understand before moving towards the save context, can you explain in few sentence in ELFI why its response is undefined and how we connect that and move back to puzzle. Okay, so let's have a solve that. Okay, exactly, the response is undefined is simple timing. Okay, yeah, 500 second timer. So here basically hey JavaScript come back after 0.5 second, calculate this later, but your outer function has already finishes. Yeah, so now API return the responses, set timer callback debounce return function. So think save hello, set timer, return immediately, console.log happens now, later hello arrives. Okay, how we connect the result? You need to return the debounce function to return a promise presenting. Okay, your next puzzle, don't worry about the save context yet, modify the debounce once the so the works conceptually work. mm, yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. Yeah, they are working the same. What we have been done is let a result equals to await, and they have make this a sync. The same thing that we're thinking about. Yeah, it was the same thing. And let's have a console.log here. Console.log result. Okay. Now we can see apple. Nope, not fixed. Why? They have the same thing, right? Mm-mm-mm. Why it's not fixed? We got Apple here, right? I'm unable to hear. Mm, result would have a two thing, timer as well as this thing. Mm, timer equals to set timeout async. Okay. Response await async, return the response. Instead of array, let's return the response now. APPLE. It's undefined again. Why it is undefined? Line number 80 has some issue. Console.result. Mm, what's the issue? I don't understand actually. Modify the debounce so works conceptually. Cons result await save hello. Mm, hello is the thing that we are passing. The state dot context is a string that we are passing, and it is saving here. It has a result, right? And this result is undefined. Why it is so? Why it is so undefined? Hmm, nope, not get it. Okay, let's ask him. Still getting undefined. Why so? Why so? What's wrong? here. You are one level away. The problem is exactly this. Timer is wait. Return response belongs to a set timeout callback. It does not return from this function. Mm, nothing written here. Okay, got it. Let's, before seeing the response, uh, what I'm thinking is, but how it's possible? Therefore, result await context is, mm, 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 mm. This is we are doing here, right? Okay, think about this shape. Instead of doing this thing, they are just return a new promise itself. What should happen here? Hint, resolve response. But they make little complicated this. Why it is so complicated now? Why they use introduce the promises here? Mm, why you have introduced a promise here? Uh, Without it, uh, what I was try to do in previous, uh, does that will not work? Why they use here? Yes, your previous approach can work for triggering the API, but it cannot work for the getting the API result back to. Okay. Difference is who owns the return response. Okay. The set timeout callback return response return to a set timeout now where useful, nowhere useful. It means debounce return functions what wait save needs. Okay, a promise gives a bridge between those two different times. Okay, promise is a bitch, sorry, not bitch, bridge. If you want the caller to await works that happened later, you will need to return something representing the future result. A promise is a natural tool. Okay, understood. So we have to use a promise as a bridge. Okay, so return query, and here we are returning a new promise. Okay, so this is a callback here, and it has a resolve. Okay, and now what we are doing is resolve in that, not directly, we are using set timeout here. Instead of that, let's bring this here. Okay, uh, let's remove this thing and format it. So now what we are doing, we are returning a promise, and this response is will be resolve response response. Okay, now it has a data, right? It is correct. Set timer it is, set timeout, async, and await query, you can see. Yeah, it's working fine. And now we are supposed to get the data. Let's see. Apple, after a few seconds. Yeah, we got the. Okay, so missing element was to use a bridge. That was a promise, because we are directly doing this thing, returning, and it's without any wait. It unable to send the data. It was undefined again and again. Okay, we fixed this, and now we can see after this certain period of time we got a response from our debounce thing. Okay, this was the initial thing that we have tried to figure it out. But what are the main concern? We forgot about that thing. Debounce is fixed here. We know about the clear timeout also. Whenever it's again and again responding, it's clear the old timer and start with a new timer here. Okay. Okay. You can see when I type A, after that P L E. Okay. So this is the issue is again the same. Not same actually. Where timer is slow. We are only just 500 second. If we increase into 2000, then we can see A P P L E. So we have been little late. So after late we got a one answer only. So yeah, that's working fine. No issue with this. What is the next concern? Let's see. We have to maintain two things is the previous answer as well as our new answer. So new answer is enter. So the previous answer we can maintain result. We can save a saved context. So here let's have a save. Not like this. State dot saved context equals to result. Result is a current context, right? Mm, okay, let's have. Okay, we actually lost our range. What we have for try to follow it. Okay, we fixed this. We fixed this, but we forgot the flow of the problem statement. We just followed you, not use our thinking capability to figure out and understand what we were doing. We just followed the steps, right? That was what not motive. Our motive was to solve the question, right? You are right. We went too far to implementation and lost the problem solving problem. Let's return to the original question to use the roadmap. Okay. You have completed the one requirement, that is input debounce 2-second API save. So this was the debounce thing that we figured it out. Here the debounce we have using the closure. So when you see the structure, you can understand this is a closure. A function is returning another function. Inside that we are calling a function. Here you can see, and here we are using a promise as a bridge. So this was a missing part that in our solution. Because of that we are unable to get the answer a response. Now let's get back to our original question where we are solving the questions, not just asking the AI. So now we will try to do critical thinking. Now stop coding for a moment. Next question: how do you prevent an old save from overwriting newer content? Don't think about save context yet. Think only about this timeline. Okay. When a user types A, debounce, save A. User types AB, debounce, save AB. Response. Okay. Both are going to response. Because your fake API has a random delay, which response can arrive first. Exactly either one. Okay. So ask yourself, when I start save A, how can I give that save an identity? Using id, yeah, hashtag, which means id. We can give a particular unique id. Don't use the content itself. Each gives a number. Okay, which response have come back? Response from save one. Ask yourself, hashtag one still the latest save? The next puzzle, your flow from the original problem was keep the roadmap visible. State input trigger save debounce. The old save problem, we are here. And after solving this, we will move forward with undo redo and component destruction. failed. These are the 7 point that question has originally, and we got stuck in this thing, debounce thing. We successfully figured this out thing, but we got stuck because we don't aware about we can use promise there. We just confused. Okay, so no issue. Now let's now don't change the save context, don't implement undo. Yeah, let's focus on how we are going to old save problem here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is we can save by giving a unique ID. But how we are going to unique ID? Mm, let's think about it a little. How we are going to give a unique ID here? Let's think about. Okay, we are actually running out of time, but no issue. Let's figure it out. The unique ID. After then we can continue this. When I handle import, okay, state is open, true. The state is open. Now we are editing the target whatever users giving, and here we got a debounce thing. Okay, save call the context debounce. mm, 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 mm. What tells us here? Save what we are saving is here, save context as save context. This is the thing. We can give ID, right? uh, Here we have a let's make outside only. Let request ID. Just request ID. We are having a request ID here. Okay. Whenever it's happening, we got a request ID plus plus. Okay. When it's changes anything, state dot context it changes. It's requesting, right? So with here we are also send the request ID. This request ID is going to here state dot context. Uh, we are calling here query, right? Here request ID. We are having a request ID here, and what I am supposed to do is when it's resolved it should mm, mm, mm. along with the response we can do the response ID also, right? Instead of here, yeah, for resolve only we are putting the response this thing, this is using here. Okay, let's see result what we are getting. mm, Apple, we are getting the only Apple, not the request ID. Return new promise. mm, it's returning a new promise. Response, resolve the response. mm, let's have a array instead of that. Let's see, Apple. mm, we are in a array, yeah, Apple as well as, and we are having here. So here we have a response equals to this thing. Okay, let's see, Apple. Do we got this? No. Mm, Instead of this, what we can do is we can go with the object also. We can try this. Response equals to and request ID. Let's have ID equals to we are Apple. I got an object. Yeah. response, Apple, and a ID. Got this data, right? And what I need to do is what I'm thinking about. We just match this. If this is ID is the same, so we are just updating the last context. If it is Apple, yeah, you can see this is now different, and this two data is a different. Mm, so last save context ID. It should not save the result actually. Save context is okay. We are having save context. Context is a current data. Save context is a previous one. One was the previous data, which is second last data. Okay, and the history should be updated. Mm, so it will be state dot history first of all. History dot push. We will be pushing all the result here. Pushing the result, and save context will be uh, mm, 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 mm. Let's have a result only. I think so. Is it a result or request ID? We can check if request ID equals to state dot saved context dot not save context um, result dot ID. If it is save, then we are going to save this. Okay. Mm, then we are going to save this result dot response. Apple. Mm, After this, let's see console.log state. Not this thing. State. Okay. Let's see. Apple. After a few seconds, we have a context here. Context is Apple. History is mm, okay. Let's have a space banana. We have a rest here. Context is history is now two. First, yeah, we successfully saved the history as well as the apple banana. Save context is apple banana. I think we are going the right direction. And what was our interesting thing is okay. Let's just check by AI one. Uh, just direct us, just guide us. Are we going into right direction of thinking? Let's just have an understanding because we might be going, yes, your core thinking is correct. You are now solving the right problem. Every saves gets an ID and the response carry that ID back. Then one important thing is to notice before changing code, request ID happens on every input. The debounce may cancel some of your saves before the actual reach API. Okay, we got data here. But the debounce may cancel some of that's okay. But ask yourself, do you want the ID to represent an input version or actually network safe? For this problem, I would lean toward the document version ID because you are really asking, is this response for the latest version of a document? The comparison is request ID equal to is the right idea. One thing I want to discover next, imagine ID2 starts here. Saves starts okay. ID response arrives. Logical handle correctly. Now asks what happened to the promise created ID for ID1 when the debounce cancel its timer. This is the small next puzzle. Okay, so I think we are on the correct track and we figured out the question. The issue is it's plus plus here. Instead of we can do this thing mm, because it's changing every time, right? We can do a request ID here, adding here instead of here. Mm, okay, so we are having a some viewer. Oh, okay, Kuldeep Fusion. Hi Kuldeep, welcome to our session. Can you guide me with the system JavaScript system design roadmap? Yeah, we are also following certain thing, a document for our guidance. Just ask the AI. So let me share with you. A syllabus we are following is understanding the basic DOM, OOPS, and other concepts. After that, we are understanding what is a state management and how it's affecting. After that, we are understanding the DOM, event systems, how it works, and what are the event delusion and other stuff, event bubbling. Okay. After that, rendering, we have been understand how we are different types of a rendering we are having, how we can render actually not just appending the element, and we understood the basic asyncs, and now we are going to forward with performance, which means how we are solve the problems in such a way it should give results in a short time with accuracy. So in the DOM state and management, we understood DOM as well as state management, practicing accordion, drop down, autocomplete like certain small problems, components that we created. In each of the concept learner, we have DOM traversal, event delegation, component state, rendering, minimal state. This all this thing that we covered up in the practice session. Creating different types of component like multiple select drop down, these are the practice data which carries this all things and we practice that. Keyboard navigations, whenever a person types something, or you can use arrow buttons like you are in the keyboard you are having, you can practice that stuff. Async JavaScript. So this is the syllabus that we are following currently. Debouncing, currently we are here, phase 4, debouncing. So nothing any special we are doing. We are just following up. We have been created a goal to understand what are deep roots of system design and how we can understand what are those concepts and master all those, so we can crack a better opportunity for us. So that's the main goal. After that, we have a model component toast notification system. Like in React, if you are using Toastify, you can have an alert here in a. So we will be going to create that in using the vanilla JS, which means this basic JavaScript instead of using any of the library and another thing. We will be going to know about queues, how they are working, quiz, single pattern. These are the different types of a pattern. In the system design, we are going to see different types of a pattern. After that, tabs, file upload, lazy image loader, virtual list. What are those things? We will going to see what is memory optimizations, how progressive loading. Yeah, there are lots of tons of thing. Mini framework, also Kanban board. This is an interesting thing that I've seen. So yeah, there's a lots of concepts. You can see this the data, solid principles, factory pattern, singleton, observer pattern, strategy pattern. These are all the patterns and the concept that which lies in the system design. And we are slowly starting with it. Okay. Uh, let's back to our question and what we are thinking about. So, okay, it's related about the request ID, right? Instead of giving request ID here because it's creating a mess here also. As per our understanding, it's happened for every input. This is the main section that we are worried about because it's happened for every ID, right? So what I'm thinking, if I do this request ID plus plus here, So whenever it's called the debounce, it should call here, and let's make this thing little upward. Okay, after the, okay, here request id. So whenever debounce has been calling, so we just request id plus plus, and after that let's remove here, and we will be dealing with this request id here, okay, instead of there. And the current request id that we have in the outside, we will be managed with this id. Okay, if it is same, then it will be, let's see, apple, and after that we have a banana and mango. Let's see. mm, okay, we have a apple, and now we are going to see the two history: apple, apple, banana, mango. This is having a id of 1. Okay, the same id as sharing. Okay, so things so we are good to go. Yeah, that's it. Also, the practice that we are doing here, these are the things. We are also sharing this resources in our GitLab. You can see in the, after this completing this session, we will be providing the resources also. In the previous video also, you can see in the comment section or in the description, we are adding the resources, and we are sharing the all this thing in the repositories. So you can access them from there. You can practice that too, access that too. So we have practiced till now. Add notifications, async complete, complete, auto search complete with keyword events. Now we are practicing with debouncing. We have been done with FAQ component, model dialog, multi drop down, pop and tap, and many more we have been completed. And let's now focus this. Okay, I think we are running out of time. uh, the thing is pending is about undo redo options. Okay, what are the pending things? We are completed, like this thing we will be completing, and undo, redo, object destruction, and failed save recovery. These are the three things that we are remaining. So that's it for today's session. We will complete this on the next session and complete this program fully. So meet you in the next session. That's it for us. Good night. Radhe Radhe. Thank you for watching us.